Now, this week, I have some home truths for those Kenyans who have sharp tongues and swift fingers on the keyboard as they throw all manner of unprintable words at each other on account of the unfolding fallouts across the political landscape. Granted, it is what they call the silly season in politics. I just wonder why you should be the silly one and not the politicians themselves. You see, in my life as a journalist, I've covered 4 general elections, multiple by-elections, and 2 constitutional referenda. And almost without exception, each one of those processes has come with this word we call fallout. And just so you know, in the next few months, another word will become part of the political lingo: alliances, with such phrases as shifting alliances or political realignments gaining currency. Now, to be clear, every time you hear such colorful phrases, just know that 2 or more people who were once political buddies are no longer together. I could start from the pre-independence period of how the comrades at arms during the struggle fell out dramatically just 3 years into our independence, or even the massive fallout of the political juggernaut known as Ford in 1992. But I will start with the fallout around and after the 2002 elections. First came Raila Odinga, the then leader of NDP, folding his party in the run-up to that election and joining KANU. Then came the spectacular walkouts from KANU, culminating in the October 14, 2002 Kibaki Tosha declaration by Raila Odinga at a mammoth rally at Uhuru Park. With just 2.5 months to the election, Raila had put Kibaki in pole position by that single phrase. In Nyeri and other neighboring districts at the time, Raila was simply referred to as Jaba, which means hero or even a brave warrior. But just 2 years or so after Kibaki won that election, Raila had turned into a villain in Kibaki's backyard. And Kibaki, who was voted in almost to a man in Nyanza, could barely set foot in that region. Need I talk about the massive and equally massive fallout that saw the same Raila Odinga given a Kalenjin name, Arap Mibei, in 2007 to the current Cold War between him and the deputy president, who at the time was his bosom buddy? Now, there are many examples I could recount, but my point tonight is that what is happening between Uhuru and Ruto right now is nothing new in Kenyan politics. Whether you think it is right or wrong is a different issue, but anyone acting surprised by it is either dishonest or just hasn't studied Kenyan politics enough. And so tonight, I have a few questions for you if you hate and vilify other people because of politics and politicians. How do you face yourself in the mirror these days if in 2017 you abused and shunned your neighbor because he was in NASA or you were in Jubilee or the vice versa? How do you feel now that the President Kenyatta and the ODM leader call each other my brother? How about the hordes of warriors currently scouring every corner of social media looking for people to insult because of the apparent differences between the president and his deputy, or the perceived rivalry between the deputy president and the ODM leader? What would happen tomorrow if there were to be a Ruto-Raila alliance? What if the president makes up with his deputy? I hate to say it, but I see some online posts these days and I see people who are preparing themselves for heartbreaks and embarrassment. I see people who have not heeded that wise counsel that once came from the Uasin Gishu Governor Jackson Mandago to never keep politics in the heart, but rather in the lungs, from where you can easily exhale it. So tonight, I ask you to stop the hate, stop the excitement. Tomorrow, the politicians who are hurling abuses at each other today will be taking tea together at Parliament, State House, or some other 5-star hotel, laughing at all of us. Folks, it may be the silly season, but I refuse to be the silly one. I just don't know about you. And that is my angle for the week.
Yeah, Joe.
Wow, interesting.